The death toll in the American Civil War was the highest in Americans' history. An estimated 620,000 soldiers, or roughly 2% of the population, died during the 4-year conflict. With so many lives lost, it's no wonder the ghosts of the past still linger in the present over a century later. Encounters with President Lincoln's ghost in the capital of the nation he helped preserve have occurred for decades, especially in the White House. The first person to chance upon Lincoln's ghost was First Lady Grace Coolidge, wife of the 30th President of the United States, Calvin Coolidge. First Lady Coolidge claimed to see President Lincoln staring out over the Potomac River from the Oval Office. The Lincoln bedroom, formerly Lincoln's office, is said to be another hot spot where the great president still visits from beyond the grave. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt experienced paranormal activity within. To this day, many still say that his footsteps can be heard pacing the halls outside. The Beauregard Keys House in the French Quarter of New Orleans was once the home to Confederate officer P.G.T. Beauregard. He was a leading general at the Battle of Fort Sumter in 1861. Following the Union victory at the end of the war, Beauregard accepted defeat and returned to New Orleans to spend the rest of his days here. Today, the fallen commander still haunts his former home. Visitors to the building not only encounter Beauregard, but also see soldiers who are presumed to have died by his side at the Battle of Shiloh, another bloody battle where Beauregard fought. Gettysburg is perhaps the most haunted of all Civil War battlefields, but there's one particular spot where the energy is especially dark. Devil's Den is an area of boulders on the Gettysburg battlefield. The Croggy Formation is located at the site of the second day of the Battle of Gettysburg. It was the Civil War's most brutal battle with the highest number of casualties, many of whom still linger here. One particular spirit is a barefoot man who can be seen walking about Devil's Den, wearing a bright shirt and a floppy hat, this of a Texas unit. He utters but one phrase: "What you're looking for is over there." What he is referring to, we may never know. Even the war's lesser-known battles left their ghosts behind. One such scrimmage took place near Cobb's Farm in 1864, where approximately 1,000 Confederate soldiers lost their lives that day, in a failed attempt to overtake a nearby Union force. The present day of Cobb's Ridge Court, which sits near the former battlefield, is believed to be haunted by many of these fallen soldiers. One family is convinced a soldier's spirit actually moved into their home after taking a liking to their guest room. The entity is a trickster, but in good nature. He often tugs on hands and clothing of visitors and plays with objects. For their part, the family have learned to live with his supernatural roommate, accepting him as one of their own. Fort Monroe was one of the few southern forts that remained uncaptured by the Union Army during the war. An imposing structure surrounded by water off the coast of Virginia, the site is said to be haunted by many of its famed guests of yesteryear. The Confederacy's President Jefferson Davis was imprisoned here following the fall of the South. Both his spirit and the spirit of his wife have been spotted in Fort Monroe, Davis in his old cell and his wife wandering the grounds searching for her husband.